24 to 200 Z.
Fucking heavy, yeah.
Like Zorro.
But not S.
Not S.
No.
But yeah, so what's your initial thoughts about this lens before we did the test?
I haven't used it as much as I should have done, I don't think, recently, because there's always other options, aren't there? Because it covers such a long range that you think, oh, I'll take a prime, or take 24 to 70, or sometimes you want the 70 to 200. But we've seen lots of people asking questions about it, as to, well, you know, it's probably not going to be great in low light because it's f4 to f6.3. It's not an S lens, whatever that means.
That's what puts people off. It jumps to 6.3 really quickly.
Yeah.
But the Z6 is in the frame now. The Z6 is so good at low light. Will it be able to compensate the high ISOs and keep good clean images?
We have featured it in earlier videos, you know, in the sort of the 24 to 70 blast off, break off, bake off. What's the name of the video?
I can't remember.
Oh God. Anyway,
it was something snazzy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's why I can't remember it. Anyway, we did include it a bit in there, and against the 70 to 200, I think.
Yeah,
which is a gorgeous
that's the
lens.
thing. It's featured in a lot of our videos because it covers such a long range.
Yeah.
And traditionally, on DSLR lenses, I would stay away from these kind of massive zooms.
Yeah.
Because they were soft, they were awful, the focus was bad. To stay away.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting because we took it around dusk and at low light, comparing it to low light lenses as well.
Yeah. In the day, a lot of people have accepted, it's a really sharp lens because all the Z lenses are sharp. But you know, how is it going to stack up in the evening?
Yeah.
So, and that's when we took it out, basically.
The next part of the video is just basically the walk around with the GoPro, comparing the lenses.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we'll do a summary about our thoughts.
Yeah. So should we just like walk off and then walk back on and do the
Pretend
conclusion?
we've just done it.
Okay.
And then we'll come back.
Oh.
We can do a test actually of the zoom capability. If we focus on you see that anchor right at the top?
Yeah.
Let's try and get a photo of that. Closest we can get of all the lenses.
Is that technically an anchor, is it?
Well, I don't know, a hook.
Big hook.
Yeah.
So we're using one.
It's a nice photo actually, like that. It's really nice.
Oh yeah. Hang
it. Obviously, with the 50 and the wide angles, it's really too far away. But with the 24 to 200, it's not.
So you can't do that. Can't do that with your 50 or
Well, that's the examples we can show, isn't it?
Straight from a flower to a helicopter. So look, at f200, right? Yeah. Okay, you're at f6.3, but look at the depth of field there.
That's nice.
Because of the compression of the 200mm.
Focus on the flowers, get the difference. That's nice. Look at that.
Well, that's walk around lens, 24 to 200, and it's at 6.3. But because you got the 200mm focal length,
If you get the right distance from the subject.
Yeah.
Then we
to get the right.
Try.
So you know, the old boy's doing okay. I'm absolutely useless at identifying birds, but what is it?
Hey?
What sort of bird is it?
It's a big bird.
Okay, it's a big bird, yeah.
I don't know.
See, this is when this comes in great. It's 24 to 200 because you just
get close enough
you can't.
at all.
No.
But I don't even know if it's in focus. Wow. Straight look. Look at this here.
You're usually the.
Well, this is it, isn't it? You've got a 200. You've got a 200 wildlife camera there, and I can't get nowhere near close enough.
So we're getting into Coventry's nightlife.
Yeah.
So,
neon lights.
we need to be taking the same.
Yeah. Try and get those couple over there. You can stick to this way. This is very easy.
I can 200mm easily. But then it's f6.3, so it's like ISO 16000. That's when you start to think, hang on a minute. My darkness, that's
Because you've got
that's a technical
exposure.
Well, you see, I'm not touching the exposure computation, which I would if I was on my own. We weren't trying to compare things.
You want the sky in night. You want the sky in.
Yeah.
So obviously,
Yeah, and if I open up the shadows
if you want
with a higher ISO,
if the sky wasn't bright, the tower would be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to expose. Because we want to do both.
Yeah.
In editing, you've got to trust that you can bring out the shadows.
Yeah.
You can do me if you want. You can do me.
Good natural pose from Russ. You're using all the cameras at your
Exposure.
You're just, yeah. Legless in Coventry.
Not very long in it.
No, I missed that because this didn't focus.
Really?
Yeah. Until he did look when but he'd already gone over the top, you see.
Like that?
Yeah, it didn't focus quickly enough. Let's press it again. Oh no, I don't think that's unusual because normally it does focus really well, but.
That looks actually go to 250 on this. Yeah, 250.
So I'm now at 51,200 ISO.
Zoom out. Get closer.
36,000, 40,000.
Looks pretty good on the screen. By the Spire, yeah.
Yeah.
Go down to 100.
Yeah.
Barely fit it in the frame, couldn't you? At its best.
At its best. So, am I doing this at 24mm to start off with?
Yeah.
Then I'll
100. We'll see what we can see.
and I'll zoom into 200. We'll try it at 70.
Bike guy. What's that? Yeah, do it on
At 24mm, 320.
Yeah. Just to get the, so then we can see the low light thing, can't we? When a car comes through. Well, it's on 51,200 now. It's so nice, isn't it? Depth of field. Yeah. The sharpness. It's hard to get it that. You have to stay here for half an hour for that.
1/15 and rest your camera on the.
Ta-da!
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so what did you think?
I'm now saying to myself, why don't I use it more often? Getting like the general sort of 24mm wide angle shots, but then the helicopter went over, and when we sort of came across that grey heron by Coventry University, your lens you couldn't get. I mean, what were you using? 24 to 70?
And the 50,
Yeah.
which is really sharp. And obviously, I would have to crop in to get or get closer, which you can't. So yeah, for opportunist shots, the 24 to 200 covers the whole everything really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare you need something wider than 24 for street photography or walk around. Even for landscape, 24 is pretty good. And you got that 200 to jump to straight away.
Yeah.
And comparing it to the 50, even at 1.8, because of the Z6 brilliant ISO performance, it didn't struggle that much. Only if the higher range, where we're shooting in almost darkness, that it was starting to pixelate.
And also, in terms of like shallow depth of field, okay, it is, you know, f4 to f6.3, so what do you expect? But when you're using the sort of compression of going to 200mm, and I took a couple of photos of those flowers, you get beautiful sort of shallow depth of field. Look at that, because you can go straight up to 200mm to compensate to some extent for the fact that, you know, you have got that higher maximum aperture, so you wouldn't expect to get the beauty that you can get from the 1.8 to the 2.8.
It's not going to be the same look, but it does the job. So what do you think about 24 to 70 though, as a walk around lens compared to the other two?
24 to 70 f4 was and still is a really good, smallish, very sharp lens. However, now that this is available, if you're walking around during the daytime, or just, you know, if you pop down to say London to have a walk around and just take sort of the travel type photos or the tourist type photos, then I think I would definitely use this. It's a great lens, and for the price, it's great. And I think I mentioned when we were walking around, it's not an S lens, and I don't really know what that means, because
weather sealing, like I said.
S for ceiling.
Yeah, maybe it does. Yeah, for me, I really enjoyed using the 50 1.8. It was really I love taking advantage of the depth of field when I can. I mean, I'd have to be pretty close to the subject to get the most out of that, to be fair, which in street photography you can't always do anyway. But I love the low light, I love the smoothness of it. But I think if I had a choice of all those three lenses, the 24 to 200 would be my first.
Yeah.
As a walk-around lens.
As a walk-around lens.
Perfect. Then the 50, and then the 24 to 70 f4.
F4, yeah. And it's down to your use case. I went and took some product photos the other day for a small business's website, and I just took 24 to 70 f2.8 and the 50mm 1.8. You know, I wouldn't dream of taking this because I've got those other options. And it was product photos. Shallow depth of field was relatively important for some of the photos because they're quite smallish products. So this wouldn't have done that job.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I haven't got this, because obviously that's your copy of the 24 to 200.
Yeah.
I don't have that. But if one came up open box that was a good price, I'd be really tempted to get it, because I have the 24 to 70 f2.8, the 50, the 85, and the zoom lens, the DX 50 to 250.
Yeah.
So to fit that in there, it's a bit of a difficult ask for me to do, to justify. For me, I'd be really, if I was going to buy one lens and all I did want to do is street photography, I'd get that lens.
And if I hadn't got the 24 to 70 f4 and it was choice between that and this, I'd buy this.
Yeah.
No, which is what a lot of people have been asking, I think.
Yeah.
Should they get the 24 to 70 f4 because of the constant aperture, or is this too much of a risk? Absolutely no, it isn't.
But yeah, we fully recommend the 24 to 200 as a walk-around lens. Maybe not if you're going to do a professional portrait shoot.
No, you wouldn't. No.
That's the thing, it kind of fits into an everyday kind of, you don't know what to expect category. We're interested to see your opinions on it, because, well, see what you think about it really. But I think we've had great success with it, and we wanted to make this video to prove how kind of good it is. I mean, people always, if I haven't used it, I would be really sceptical myself of that lens.
Yeah. So this has the Russ and Lars stamp of approval.
Oh.
Steady.
Z.
Not S.
Not S.
Whatever that is.
But
Ceiling.
still good.
Ceiling. S stands for ceiling.